Hey YouTube, how's it going? Today I'm in Isla Vista, California, talking about the 2014 Isla Vista murders, where Elliot Rodger went on a killing spree the night of May 23rd, 2014, here to the home of UC Santa Barbara. He had 6 victims which he murdered, and a number of victims which he hit with his car.
Normally, I would say good morning, but right now it is not a good morning here. Isla Vista is a community in deep sorrow. Behind me, the apartment complex where Elliot Rodger lived and where police say he murdered his first 3 victims.
So who was Elliot Rodger? Elliot Rodger was born on July 24th, 1991 in London, England. His parents were Peter Rodger and Ung Lee Chin. His mother worked as a nurse during the production of The Princess Bride and Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade. His father is British, was also involved in the film industry, directing commercials and serving as a second unit director on the 2012 film The Hunger Games. In 1999, his mother labeled her son as a high-functioning autistic child. When Elliot was 11 years old, while playing video games online, he found someone in an online chat room who shared pornographic images with him, and he became obsessed with the blonde woman who was in the pictures, and he gained an obsession with blonde women and exploring his sexuality. Elliot Rodgers went on to enroll in Los Angeles Pierce College but didn't stay long, choosing to leave the institution after seeing too many happy couples that caused him rage. In an attempt to help Rodger socialize more and reduce his isolation, his parents decided to send him to college in Santa Barbara, California. They agreed to pay for his apartment and college classes, optimistic that their son, being part of a college community, would encourage him to make friends. Rodger agreed after viewing the 2006 American crime drama film Alpha Dog. Thinking about the film, Rodger believing moving to Santa Barbara would give him a chance to go to parties and finally lose his virginity. So his original plan had been to lure as many people as possible to his apartment. After killing Hong and Chin and stealthily kill and decapitate them, then commit a massacre at the Alpha Phi sorority house, then kill his brother and stepmother. And then he wanted to commit a series of drive-by shootings and hit and runs with his family's SUV. It is unknown why he was unable to carry out some aspects of that plan during the actual killing spree. So in apartment 7, Elliot had a few knives, but he used 2 of them. He was carrying a 6-inch and 8-inch SRK and 9-inch boar hunting knife. He first attacked his roommate, 20-year-old Wayhan David Wang. As Wang tried to defend himself, he was stabbed 15 times and suffered 23 lashes. Rodger dragged Wang's body to the corner of a bedroom and threw it on the floor face down, partially covering it with blankets, towels, and clothing. Then, the 20-year-old Chang Yuen James Hong, Rodger's other roommate, was still wearing his backpack and entered the apartment. He was ambushed by Elliot. Despite his attempts to defend himself, Hong was stabbed 25 times and slashed 12 times. Rodger dragged Hong's body to the same bedroom, throwing it face down halfway on top of Wang's body. After concealing Hong's body with blankets, the final victim in the apartment, 19-year-old George Chen, Hong and Wang's friend, arrived at the apartment last to visit them. Upon entering, Rodger immediately attacked Chang, stabbing him 94 times and slashing him 11 times as he attempted to defend himself. Rodger left Chang's body in a bathroom in a pool of blood. Rodger then tried to clean the apartment's hallways and hide evidence of the earlier stabbings as each victim entered. He tried using bathroom towels and paper towels to clean up the blood, but they quickly became soaked. Despite his efforts, blood remained splattered on the hallways and its walls. I'm going to assume by lining up some pictures that this is the apartment and this is possibly Elliot's bedroom that they gained access to, or a bedroom that the police gained access to. After the killings, Rodger took his blood-filled clothes off and covered them with his bed sheets. He showered, put on new clothes, and went to Starbucks. He texted his mom that he would call her later. Less than 2 hours after his Starbucks visit, he emailed his 140-page manifesto named My Twisted World, the story of Elliot Rodger, to 34 people: his parents, friends and therapists, and his life coach. He then uploaded a YouTube video minutes before leaving. Rodger's life coach called his mother and told her to check her email since he also received the manifesto. Once she read it, she called Elliot's father and they both drove towards the university while calling the authorities. Behind me is the Alpha Phi sorority house where Elliot Rodger went to after his Starbucks visit. He had 3 automatic pistols on him and a gas can full of gasoline. He knocked on the door for 3 minutes. No one answered the door. He became frustrated and decided to leave. He did try to break in, did try to get in to the sorority house. As he was leaving, he noticed there was 3 Delta sorority sisters walking by, so he decided to get back in his car, roll up behind them, roll down his window, and fired shots at them. He fired shots at 19-year-old Veronica Weiss, 22-year-old Catherine Cooper, and 20-year-old Bianca DeCock. Veronica and Catherine both passed away on the grass area, which I'll show you here in a moment. Bianca survived. She called her mom on her cell phone and was telling her she's scared to die. Bystanders came by and tried to help assist. Unfortunately, Catherine and Veronica were already deceased. A bystander was helping assist Bianca so the sheriff's deputy could go after Elliot Rodger, who was back in his car in his BMW and onto his next victims. This is the other side of Alpha Phi sorority house. Now it looks like these, I believe, oleanders maybe? I'm not real good with plants, but these bushes here were not here at the time of the crime scene. It was just a grass lot with this tree here. That's where the 3 go down. Looks like they put up all these bushes, possibly to keep people out. They did set up a memorial here for Phi sorority. Elliot Rodger continued driving and struck a man with his car, which threw the man, Jin Fu, into the air. Miraculously, he only had a bruise on his calf. He continued to drive on the wrong side of the road and hit another pedestrian, fired at 2 more people on the sidewalk, but missed them. After leaving the sorority house, Rodger drove past the coffee shop and fired a round into it, but the coffee shop was closed. He then proceeded to Ivy Deli Mart, which you'll see here, where he fired gunfire at bystanders nearby. 20-year-old Christopher Michaels Martinez was at the deli's entrance when he turned to look at Rodger's car and was shot in the chest, which hit his liver and the right ventricle of his heart. Christopher managed to stumble into the deli, but soon fell to the ground. Rodger continued to fire rounds into the deli, shattering windows as people scrambled for cover. Despite CPR from a woman and deputy, Christopher Michaels Martinez died from his injuries. He shot a couple leaving a pizzeria. He shot Erin Zaglin through the left arm, and Bailey Maples, he grazed her in the right arm. Luckily, these two survived. He had a shootout with 4 police deputies and got shot in the hip. After the sheriff's deputy shot Elliot Rodger in the hip, he drove back down Del Playa Drive one more time, put the gun to his head, pulled the trigger, and killed himself. His car ultimately ran into another car, and his car ended up right about to where this white Porsche is. His rampage was finally over. The whole attack had taken around 8 minutes from the shooting at the sorority house to Rodger's demise. The police found 3 semi-automatic pistols, 41 10-round loaded magazines, and over 500 rounds of additional ammunition, as well as the 2 knives he used to kill his 2 roommates and their friend. By the end, 14 people had been wounded, either by gunshot or being struck by Rodger's car, and 6 were dead, not including Elliot Rodger. When the police searched the apartment, they found Elliot's diary. The final handwritten entry reads, "This is it. In 1 hour I will have my revenge on this cruel world. I hate you all. Die," in caps. Now at the Goleta Beach Park, which is more than likely where Elliot Rodger set YouTube video, which I'll play a clip here in just a second.
Tomorrow is the day of retribution. The day in which I will have my revenge against humanity, against all of you. For the last 8 years of my life, ever since I've hit puberty, I've been forced to endure an existence of loneliness, rejection, and unfulfilled desires, all because girls have never been attracted to me.
Now there was a lot of issues with Elliot, a lot of jealousy issues when he would see men and women out in public. He would have issues with these women not being attracted to him. There was one time where he was at a park. He saw a bunch of men and women playing kickball. So that angered him, so he decided to drive to the Kmart, his local Kmart here in Goleta, and purchase a super soaker squirt gun, fill it with orange juice, and came back to the park and shot these individuals with the orange juice and the super soaker. Call me crazy, but that's a little much. He definitely had some mental issues. There were other stories where he would be driving and he would, smile at girls. They wouldn't smile back, so he threw his iced tea at them out his car window. Another time, He was jealous of a guy and a girl together, so he took his latte, threw that out the car at them. Just a lot of mental issues there for Elliot. It seemed like his parents knew he had some mental issues, but maybe they didn't take him all the way serious, thinking he would, actually take it beyond just jealousy and go on a mass shooting spree, hit people with his car. I just feel like this could have really been avoided. His mental issues have been taken more seriously. I was bullied a lot as a kid, but I never took it to the extreme like he did. I don't feel like that's an excuse for the acts of violence that he committed, the murders he committed. There's just not a lot that can justify that. Actually, there's nothing that can justify that. Taking innocent people's lives. Just really, really sad, and I feel like it could have been avoided. Some of the victims' families had sued the apartment complex and the sheriff's department for not properly handling the situation at the apartment in April, so a month prior to Elliot's shooting spree and massacre. Elliot's mom was worried about him, so she called Elliot's life coach, who then called mental health crisis hotline. They sent out sheriff's deputies because they saw Elliot's mom saw some of Elliot's YouTube videos, and he seemed like he was ready to do something ugly, go on a shooting spree, kill people, hurt himself. The deputies did go to the apartment building and question Elliot. They had Elliot call his mother. Elliot talked to his mother, assured her that he was all right, and assured her and the deputies that it was just his way of, his YouTube videos were his outlet for his anger, and that he would never follow through on anything. And the deputies talked to his mother. They realized they deemed him sane, and they did not enter his apartment. Had they entered his apartment, they would have found the firearms and ammo and knives that Elliot had for his planned attack, which at that time would have been a couple weeks later in April. But since he was down with a cold, he decided to move it to the end of May when he was feeling better. So again, I just feel like a lot of this could have been avoided had it been taken more seriously, maybe by the deputies and maybe by Elliot's family and therapists, and had mental health been more of a priority. It's just truly sad, and I just want to say rest in peace to all the victims and their families. I don't feel like he got the justice he deserved by taking the cowardly way out. Alright everyone, this concludes my video of the Isla Vista murders. Thoughts, well wishes, and prayers go out to all those affected by Elliot Rodger's senseless acts of violence. I don't have much nice to say about Elliot Rodger. He did battle mental issues, maybe some bullying, but that gives no excuse for what he did. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe to my future content coming out on YouTube, As Seen by Dave. I'm also on Instagram, handle As Seen by Dave. I'll catch you next time. More videos to come. Thanks so much for watching.